We are glad you are joining us today as we take a look at how to get your workplace started on the right foot using Zoho People 5.0. When you first step into a digital space like this, it can feel a bit like finding your way through a new forest. We want to make sure you have a clear path. Setting up your organization is that very first step, making sure the system understands who you are and how you want to work together as a team. We're going to go through the basic details and the important policies that keep everything organized and respectful for everyone involved. Starting our journey into the system, we first need to find our way to the right tools. We begin by navigating to the Settings menu, which you will find tucked away in the interface. From there, we go into the Manage Accounts area and select the Organization Setup tab. This is the heart of where we define our identity within the platform. The first thing we see is the Organization Details section. This is where we give the system its face and name. We start by uploading our company logo, which helps everyone feel at home when they log in. We also enter the formal name of the organization, our website, the type of business we are running, and our primary contact information. It's important to get these basics right because they represent our collective identity across the entire system. Moving forward from the basic identity, we enter the next phase, which is defining our organization policies. These policies are like the unspoken rules of the camp, making sure communication and privacy are handled with care. We start with the Alerts and Chat section. One of the first things we look at is notifications. Now, we have a choice here. If we choose to disable notifications, we are essentially quieting most of the email noise from the system. However, even if we turn them off, the system is smart enough to let through the really important things, like when we invite a new candidate for pre-boarding, or when we invite a new user to join the team. These vital messages will always find their way to the recipient. Building on how we talk to each other, we also have the chat and bot options. If we keep the chat enabled, our team members can talk to one another easily using the chat window at the bottom of the screen. It's a good way to keep the conversation flowing. Then there's Gia, the helpful bot. If we enable this option, our people can ask Gia to help them with things like applying for leave or marking their attendance. It's like having a helpful guide always standing by at the bottom right corner of the screen to point them in the right direction. Transitioning from communication to the personal space of our people, we look at employee personal information. We believe in respecting the privacy of our team members, so we look at how we handle birthdays and work anniversaries. Within the settings, we can give our employees the power to hide these dates if they prefer a quieter celebration. For example, if we enable the Hide Birthday permission, an employee can go into their own personal preferences and choose to keep that date private. Once they do, they won't show up in the birthday widget on the home dashboard. We can do the same for mobile numbers. Usually, when someone searches for a teammate, the mobile number might show up, but if we allow this privacy setting, an individual can choose to keep their number hidden from the general search. Speaking of finding people, we must consider the employee search preferences. Naturally, we can search for our colleagues using their names, emails, or employee IDs. However, if our team finds it easier to connect through mobile numbers, we have the option to enable a setting that allows searching by phone numbers too. It's all about making it easier for us to find one another when we need to collaborate. Along with being found, we also think about how we are seen, which brings us to profile picture update settings. By default, the administrators have the power to change photos, but we can also choose to give that permission to the employees themselves. We decide if we want our people to have the freedom to update their own images, or if we want to keep that as an administrative task. Furthermore, we need to ground our organization in time and place, which is why we look at location and display formats. Every organization has a home base, so we select the primary country and time zone where we operate. Even if our team is spread out across different lands, the base location needs to be set here. Once that's settled, we choose our time format. We can go with the 12-hour clock or the 24-hour military style. This is quite important because it changes how everyone sees their check-in and check-out times in the attendance records. We want it to be a format that everyone understands clearly without any confusion. To ensure consistency in how we address each other, we also look at the name format. The system allows us to decide how names are displayed across the platform. We can choose to show just the first name, the last name, or a combination. If we pick the first name only, then that's how everyone will be recognized throughout the system, keeping things simple and friendly. Finally, we must agree on the date format. There's a list of predefined patterns we can choose from. It's very important to pick one and stick to it, because every date we see in the system will follow this pattern. Even if we are bringing in data from the outside, like importing records, it needs to match this format so that everything stays in harmony. These settings might seem small, but together they form the foundation of how our organization lives and breathes within Zoho People. Setting up your organization in Zoho People 5.0 is all about creating a space that fits your team's unique rhythm and respects their privacy. By following these steps, we ensure that our digital workspace is clear, consistent, and easy to navigate for everyone. Now that we've laid the groundwork, it's time for you to head into your settings and start building. Go ahead and get your organization set up today. Share your experience in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe to get more videos like this.